Well, thank you very much, Richard. I mean, this is a great feature in my life once a year. This is the 8th time I've been at this conference, and I get to know this place quite well. I dream about it. And, you know, my ideal is to find something that stops people dreaming, because I've never known anybody have a nice dream. It's always a bad dream, and thank goodness the morning comes and all the things that you believe are going to be nasty and horrible in your life suddenly disappear. Well, we hope they do. It comes back the next night when you dream again, and, you know. And yesterday at the meeting, it was so exciting hearing all these people from different parts of the world talking about the research they're doing and trying to bring it all together, because it is a very difficult field to understand all the complications of the research that's going on. And you will hear some of it again today. And it is, you know, sometimes the language is difficult to understand, but stick with it, please, because things are beginning to pop across the nation and across the world. There's been great activity by the Medical Research Council, and that doesn't just happen overnight. There's been a campaign behind the scenes to make sure that government money, the taxpayers' money, goes to research in this field, and also many of the charities that have been involved in it across this country and across the world have been helping as well. And I want to proudly announce that at last, in a small city in England called Norwich, we have managed to get a PhD studentship. You know, and that has been because of the hard work of Richard and Pia, who not only spend their time and effort organising this conference, but also have been working away, trying to make sure that in their home city something important is beginning to happen to understand ME. And I've been involved with them, and I can tell you it's hard work sometimes with the establishment medics in the area. And we're talking to the 2 researchers who are going to do it, with some young person who's going to start the research pretty shortly, looking at the gut bacteria, because that can change because of diet, it can change because of stress, infections, whatever, and that does affect the way your whole system works, including your brain, and they're going to be studying that. And that may seem very small, but that is how research starts, you know, a small beginning and some discovery is made that really opens the field up. Some of us are old enough to remember the pre-DNA period. Everybody knows about DNA, where they all say they do. It's like climate change. Everybody's an expert on climate change and can talk about it for hours. But understanding it is what research is all about, and I really take my hat off to the people in ME. It's been a difficult time fighting to get that research on the agenda, and it's starting to happen with MRC support and Invest in ME support in Norwich, but across the country as well. So I think, you know, come the 10th meeting, it's going to be quite exciting. Somebody's going to make a breakthrough which shatters us all, makes all the research that's gone on before irrelevant, because that's how it is, you know. Nobody remembers all the good hard work that was done, but that's how research is. Someday, if you get them in there and the brains are ticking and people are feeding in, the patient groups and so on, then things start to happen. That's the experience of that, some of us who've been involved in research a long time. So I take my hat off to the people who've organised this conference. They really get everybody together. And yesterday was a real highlight, I think, in people starting to collaborate and talk across international boundaries, as it were. And that's important. We get at the politicians in our own way, and gosh, that's hard work sometimes. Believe me, they don't quite understand all the issues. Not enough of them. I would force-feed them to come to this conference, actually, and learn what it's all about, as I would with climate change and some other issues. So people like you have got to keep it on the agenda locally. What Pia and Richard have done in Norwich can happen anywhere. There's lots of young people who want to get into research. They want careers. They want to support groups and charities. And I think we ought to think about building that kind of tradition that has started through this conference and elsewhere across the nation. So we've got a good programme of speakers today, international speakers, all of whom know what they're talking about, have been involved in the issues for some time, know the arguments, the ups and downs, have been through it. And I'm sure many of you will be able to participate this afternoon when we have questions and so on. There's a new spirit loose, I think, in the ME field. In research, something happens at some time. You suddenly say, do you remember what it was like 10 years ago? I mean, I've worked with cancer charities for years and years and years. And, you know, I always say to them, you know, okay, get on with your own thing, but talk to each other now and again and share information, because you can stop people going down the wrong road, doing the silly things which have been tried before, didn't work for some reason that wasn't aware to them. And of course, it does work sometimes as well, on the other hand. So it's exciting times in this field. I really think we're starting to make breakthroughs, and you'll hear about some of them today, and I hope this afternoon, when you get a better chance to participate, you will do so, ask questions and get them into us, and we will try and get them answered by the experts who are going to be speaking to you. And the first expert comes all the way from our great friends in the United States who have been with us some time, from Nevada, Dr. Daniel Peterson, who's going to give a key speech about mainstreaming of ME research. Dan.